So, third canto, 27th chapter, third shloka. Tena sansara padavim avashobhiyeti anivritaha prasangikai karma doshai sad asanmishra yonishu. Tena, by this samsara of repeated birth and death, padavim, the path, avashaha, helplessly, abhyeti, he undergoes, anivritaha, discontented, prasangikai, resulting from association with material nature, karma doshai, by faulty actions, sat, gun, asat, bad, mixed, yonishu, in different species of life. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The conditioned soul therefore transmigrates into different species of life, higher and lower, because of his association with modes of material nature. Unless he is relieved of material activities, he has to accept this position because of his faulty work. So, unwillingly, the joyless jiva treads the path of material birth and death by faulty action arising from association with prakriti, material nature, receiving birth in bodies of mixed happiness and suffering. Purport. Here the word karma doshai means by faulty actions. So this refers to any activity, good or bad, performed in this material world. They are all contaminated. Faulty actions because of material association. Okay. So the conditioned soul transmigrate into different species of life. There are 84 lakh of species. So it transmigrate higher and lower. Sometimes becomes higher body, sometimes lower body. So continuously transmigrates from one body to another body, one species to another species, because of his association with modes of material nature. So why he transmigrates? He transmigrates because of the association of material nature, because he is associated with material nature. And because material nature, prakriti. So prakriti are having yesterday, so last class we were discussing three gunas. Prakriti controls everyone by three gunas: satoguna, rajoguna, and tamoguna. So what kind of association he will get from these gunas, he will get into that kind of species. So that is very important. So unless he is relieved of material activities, what kind of activities he is doing, that kind of guna is acquiring, and he is going into that kind of life. Unless he is relieved of material activities, he will keep doing like this. He has to accept this position because of his faulty work. Okay. So unless he is free from the material modes, he has to accept this different species. So in order to get free from the material activities, he has to accept this position of, and then he will take different species of life only because of his faulty work. What is a faulty work? Faulty work is that he is trying to gratify his senses, not the Krishna's senses. So the foolish conditioned soul may think that he is offering charity by opening hospitals for material benefit, or by opening an educational institution for material education. But he does not know that all such work is also faulty, because it will not give him relief from the process of transmigration from one body to another. Last class we were discussing, if somebody does this kind of charity or something, he will not get free from this transmigration from one body to another body. That will not happen. Okay, maybe he will get next birth. What if, since he is opening hospitals, he is opening universities, educational institutions for material education, so lot of charity is doing. As a result of that charity, he may get a very good birth in the next life, very good facilities, maybe he will become king, maybe he will become a very rich person, so many things. But he will not get free from the process of transmigration from one species to another species. It is clearly stated here. Sad asan mishra yonishu. Sad asan mishra. Okay. Sad asan mishra yonishu. This means that one may take birth in a very high family, or he may take birth he may take his birth in higher planets among the demigods for his so-called pious activities in this material world. So that may happen. That Sadasan Mishri, so different higher species he may get. Like he may become very rich person in the next life. He may even take birth in a higher planets, Prabhupada saying. He may go to even higher planets. Okay, like this other lokas are there, Dev lokas and all. So that may happen like that. But he will not get free from the process of transmigration from one body to another body. But this work is also faulty because it does not give liberation. Okay, this work is, Prabhupada saying, this is faulty because it does not give you the liberation. So, to take birth in a nice place or a high family does not mean that one avoids undergoing his material tribulations. So if somebody takes birth in a very high family or like that, in that way it's not guaranteed that he will get free from the material problems, the pangs of birth, death, old age and disease. These things anyway will be there. Okay, however a rich person may be, anyway he will get these four problems: birth, death, old age and disease. Whoever it is, even the big politician, big kings, everybody died. Big rich men, they get sick, right? They get disease, and everyone get old age. So these things are there. A conditioned soul under the spell of material nature cannot understand that any action he performs for sense gratification is faulty, and that only his activities in devotional service to the Lord can give him release from the reactions of faulty activities. So because of these faulty activities, he is getting associated with the Sattva-guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. And faulty activities means performing activities for own sense gratification. This is called faulty activities. Means Apaner Indriya Priti Vancha Ataiva Kam Krishner Indriya Priti Vancha Dhare Prem Nam. Means always thinking and desiring, planning for our own sense gratification. How I will get this, how I will get that. This kind of thing is called faulty activities. Okay, because why it is called faulty activities? This is the question. Why it is faulty activities? It is faulty activities because we are not supposed to do that. Why? Because any activity we do, whether it is our right activity or wrong, how it will be defined? It will be defined based on our identity. Who are you? So, who are you? So if you are a Indian man, then you are driving on left. Okay. So because you are Indian man, so you are driving on left. So based on your identity, your activity is correct. But if you are in America, then based on and you do the same activities. Okay. So you are in India and you are driving on left. You went to America. Then you went to America and there you are driving on left side. You are thinking, anyway I was driving in India also left side, so here also I will drive left. So it is a faulty activities. Because you are not acting as per your proper identity. If you are American, you will drive on right. If you are a boss and like your boss and your manager and you have another manager, senior manager. So senior manager has some job. So if you are doing that, then suppose you cannot order your boss, right? thinking that you are his boss. Right? You are just simple employee, and you went there and you are telling to your boss, hey, you give me this file, do that job. Then it is a faulty activity. But at the same time, if manager does that to you, then it is not faulty activities. But activity is the same. So, Jiva identity is what? Constitutional position of Jiva is Jiva Sarupa Krishna Nitya Das. Krishna's servant. So as a servant, what we are supposed to do? As a servant, we are supposed to please our master. And master is Krishna. And we are not pleasing him. So then what we are doing? We are doing something. We are not just simply sitting. We are doing activities. So what? So these activities we are doing aiming what? Aiming our own sense gratification. So we are not supposed to work for our own sense gratification. We are supposed to work for Krishna's pleasure. That is why this is called faulty activities. So any activity we do for our sense gratification called faulty activities. So because Jiva, he does not seize such faulty activities, he has to change to different bodies, sometimes high and sometimes low. Because he is not stopping his activities, faulty activities. So he will go to different species, high and low. So what he should do? He should so how he will get released from these problems of birth, old age, disease and death. He will get free when he will engage himself into to the service of the Lord. So devotional service, bhakti maya seva, devotional service. This is called bhakti maya seva, means devotional service. You are doing Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam with love. So devotional service to the Lord can give him release from the reaction of faulty activities. These faulty activities will give us different reaction, and we will again and again take birth. 84 lakh of species are there. So from that reaction, if we want to get free, how we can get free? Only by performing devotional service to Krishna. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Mudhanam, Dasam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. Okay, and in this Kali Yuga, specifically at least two processes are so strong. If just by doing any one, right? Hearing Shravanam and Kirtanam, just hearing and chanting, this much is enough for Kali Yuga. So, because we are not able to do that only, we are not able to even chant Hare Krishna, hear Krishna Katha, but we are very enthusiastically participating in our own Indriya Bhoga, sense gratification. So because of that, we are suffering. So that is called Sansara Padavim, which means the material world from which there is no release. Prabhupada is writing that this is Sansara Padavim. No release from this material world. Why? Because you are not serving Krishna. Release means devotional service to Krishna, then result is liberation. And sense gratification, result is in this 84 lakh of species keep rotating. So one who desires material liberation has to turn his activities to devotional service. Okay. Anybody who want to get liberation from this birth, old age, death and disease, janam, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, want to get free, then Prabhupada is writing here, the only way is devotional service. There is no alternative. Okay, there is no alternative. So, this is the thing. Atma is, Jiva, Atma is always not related to the qualities of Prakriti, but it comes a sansari, getting involved in birth and death. How? Answering this, our Lord says that this Jiva gets closely related with the qualities of Prakriti, though these qualities are powerless to affect the Atma. Even so, these qualities are powerless to affect the Atma, but Atma, Lord says that Atma Jiva gets closely related with, gets joined with the qualities of Prakriti. But though these qualities are powerless to affect the Atma, okay, even then, Okay, you have to understand properly that though these qualities of material nature, Prakriti, are powerless to affect the Atma, even then the Jiva by himself, with a view to adopt and grasp these qualities of Prakriti, using his own nature, becomes capable of making these qualities enjoyable or enjoy them. Like the sun heats up the water in the lakes through its heat, but the reverse is not true, as the water is not capable of making the sun cold. Okay, so what is mentioned here? Like the sun heats up the water in the lakes through its heat, but rivers cannot be done. The lake water in the lake cannot cool the sun. Okay, so even the Jiva by himself with a view to adopt, Jiva himself with a view to adopt and grasp these qualities of Prakriti. Okay, how Jiva is joined with Prakriti, the qualities of Prakriti. Okay, because of it joined, that's why he's in the material world. So how he joined? The qualities are not capable, okay, to affect the Jiva, powerless, but using his own nature, the Jiva joins with them, using his own nature becomes capable of making these qualities enjoyable. Okay, so with a view to adopt and grasp this quality, Jiva himself with a view to adapt and grasp these qualities of material nature, Prakriti, using his own nature becomes capable of making these qualities enjoyable or enjoy them. Okay, so this is Jiva only like does that. Okay, so the analogy is giving that the sun heats up the water in the lakes through its heat, but the reverse is not true, as the water is not capable of making the sun cold. The sun enters into water through its rays, and the water in turn is dried up through the rays of the sun, and transforms itself into many kinds of many kinds. He transforms itself. Okay, like the dried up water. Okay, in this way, the qualities of water get lodged in the sun. In the same way, infatuated through ego. Okay, infatuated through ego, the Jiva thinks that I am the doer. In reality, however, it is the qualities of nature which has entered into the Atma. You understand now? Like the sun's rays enter into the water. So it is the qualities of nature which has entered into the Atma, and it is actual doer of all actions. So the Jiva is not actual doer of the action. In this way, the doer is enveloped through the quality of ego, which is infatuating by nature. The Jiva becomes foolish, deluded through this ego, and begins to have the thought, I am the present and existing in a body. Here the word action of the ego has been used in the feminine gender, as women are supposed to infatuate men. The Atma feels egoistic, thinks that it is the doer. Although we have seen in the last verse that the Atma is the non-doer, Akarta, but it feels that I am the doer. Ego, which is quality of Prakriti. Ego is the quality of Prakriti, not of the Atma. This ego deludes the Jiva and makes it feel that I am the doer. In reality, the doer is the ego, and the Atma, identifying with this ego, begins to think that it is the doer. Atma is the doer. The consequences of of this is that when the Jiva starts thinking that Jiva is the doer, the consequence is that he transmigrates into different species of life, sometimes higher, sometimes lower. Why? Because of his association with the modes of material nature. Unless he is relieved of material activities, he has to accept these material positions, because of this faulty actions, faulty work. Okay. So due to the ego of doership, this ego, I am the doer, due to the ego of doership, the so-called doer, okay, the so-called doer, anyway he is not doer, but so-called doer becomes the enjoyer also. Okay, so this due to the ego of doership, okay, see, Jiva got this false ego that I am the doer. So because of this doership identity, the so-called doer becomes the enjoyer also. In this way, the jiva seeks and attains the samsara of life and death for the sake of attaining its enjoyments. So jiva, because he wants to enjoy now, so he seeks the attention, the samsara. He seeks and attains this life and death. Okay, why? Because he wants to enjoy. So he becomes helpless. So he becomes helpless. That means comes under the control of his actions, and then looks forward to the enjoyment of his actions in this world of life and death. Okay, this samsara, life and death. So he enters, he looks forward for the enjoyment of his actions in this birth and death world. Does he go through the cycle of birth and death endlessly? Ananta? Not at all. He continues to remain with lack of peace because he came for enjoyment in this birth and death cycle, but he continues to remain with lack of peace. Why? Due to the results of his actions. But when he attains peace, shanti, then he gets liberated from this samsara. Okay. How does this samsara life affect the jiva? Samsara, this birth and death life affect the jiva. It is said here that this life of samsara affects the jiva through the blemish contained both bad and good in all types of actions, karma. By its inherent nature, action per se are not blemishful, but due to attachment, these actions becomes blemishful. Like eating a good meal is not blemishful, but eating the wrong type of food is prohibited and injurious. This path of action therefore is mixed with truth, untruth, and of mixed benefits. Like it means the jiva, as per its actions, attains the following birth, which is through truthful actions it attains celestial bodies, through untruthful actions it attains the bodies of animals and birds, and through mixed both truthful and untruthful actions, mixed actions, attains the human body. Because if he does the truthful activities, he will attain the celestial bodies. If he does the untruthful activities, he will attain the animal body. If he does the mixed activities, he will attain the human body. So, is this samsara, the birth and death thing, is this everything, the whole material thing, this all mithya? Is this samsara real, or is it an illusory one, just an illusion? If it is real, then liberation is not possible. If it is unreal or illusory, then all the efforts done here will be a waste only. This doubt is further answered by the Lord himself. Okay, so here Lord Kapila is saying in the 4th shloka, Arthe hi avidyamanepi samsritirna nivartate dhyayato vishayan asya swapne anarthagamo yatha. Arthe, real cause, he certainly avidyamane, not existing, api, although samsriti, the material existential condition, no, not nivartate, does cease, dhyayataha, contemplating, vishyan, objects of the senses, asya, of the living entity, swapne, in a dream, anartha, of disadvantages, agamaha, arrival, yatha, like. Actually, translation, actually a living entity is transcendental to material existence, but because he has mentality of lording it over material nature, his material existential condition does not cease, and just as in a dream, he is affected by all sorts of disadvantages. Okay, though actions do not actually exist for the jiva, material life does not cease because he meditates on sense objects thinking himself a doer. It is like the experience of unreal actions in a dream. So this is doer mentality. The example of a dream is very appropriate. Due to different mental conditions. Okay, one second. So first, let me complete this. So here it is mentioned that the samsara is real or not. Okay, so if it is real, then liberation is not possible. If it is unreal, then all the efforts done here will be a waste. So this is further we will discuss. Although there is no meaning in this world of life and death and of the continuous process of life and death, we continue to see the origination of bodies among the celestial, human and the lower category beings, right? Though the Atma has no relationship with these bodies, the Atma continues to remain unattached. It is not related, even in its inherent nature, to these bodies. When they are together in one place, then only the relations with each other's nature and form take place. Example, like the king and his servant. The relationship here between the Atma and the body is mental, made up of ego and mind, ahamta and mamata, I and me. Ignorance is caused by infatuation, moham, and hence this mental relationship is untruthful, asatyam, because it's all based on this bodily thing. The samsara is also untruthful, but we are unable to get rid of this. Moreover, it continues to give sorrow and trouble, though it is untruthful. Hence, the question arises as to how to get rid of this. If it is told that on accepting it is untruthful, we will be able to get freed from this perhaps. If we are certain about this, then how can sorrow affect us? But it continues to give sorrow, though it is untruthful. Okay, if it is untruthful, then why we are affected? But still we are affected. So what is the reason for this? The cause for this, as told by Lord, is that the jiva contemplates and thinks about the objects and its pleasure of this world as enjoyable, worthy of being repeatedly enjoyed. The jiva contemplates and thinks about the objects and its pleasures of this world as enjoyable. That if I get this thing, I will become happy, I can enjoy. This thing is enjoyable. Okay, so this is the problem. The problem is that we are thinking that this material world is enjoyable. Due to this, the jiva always nurtures the tendency to enjoy objects and its pleasures. So always jiva is continuously nourishing this point that I can enjoy. The tendency to enjoy the material objects. So it is the tendencies of the mind which the untruthful samsara leads the jiva to experience sorrow. Okay, mind is the main thing. How does this untruthful samsara lead to so much pain and sorrow? Given an example to clarify this, it is said that the dream state is illusory and untruthful. Okay, while dreaming, everything is illusory and untruthful. If a person gets beaten during a dream, then this experience is considered on waking up as untruthful, silly. Anyway, he was sleeping. In the dream, somebody got beaten up. But when he is awake, this will be considered as untruthful. But till the person wakes up during the sleep, he is still not woke up. So till the person wakes up, the dream experience of getting beaten is considered as truthful. After waking up only, he will know that this is untruthful. Whatever in the dream he is seeing, when he is in dream, he thinks it is truthful. It continues to remain till the dream. changes or the person it continues to remain till the dream changes or the person wakes up. Okay, that same thing you will think it is truth. When a jiva gets freed from samsara, then like a person getting awakened from a dream state, fear and sorrow will get ended by themselves. So when if a person is a tiger is chasing a man, then he is very much afraid. But when the fear will continue till the dream is there or till he is sleeping. But as soon as he wakes up, there is no fear. He is free from that sorrow. Okay. From the example of dream given above, it is clear that knowledge, jnana, right? Jnana liberates the person from samsara. Okay, so this knowledge will liberate from this samsara. That this is truthful, this is untruthful. What is truth, what is not truth? This knowledge. But how can anyone attain this knowledge? The Vedas have given a way to this by telling that when the mind becomes inwardly oriented, then the jiva gets freed from samsara. Inwardly oriented, not outwardly. This freed inner mind follows the inner atma. This is certain, but the inner mind which is following the untruthful path is not eager to get freed from this path. Nay, no one can make it also get freed from this path. This is all the more difficult as the army of untruthful is large and strong. The inner mind also gets intensely attached to the body. It becomes therefore necessary to withdraw. It becomes therefore necessary to withdraw such an attached mind from this place. Our Lord, who is very compassionate, now speaks of the way. So now Krishna, Kapil Deva will speak further how to make the mind, the inner mind come under one's own control. Okay. So this is the thing here, that how does the jiva end up bound by karma created by his body, even though he actually performs no action. So we heard that jiva does not perform any action, but he is performed out of his ego. So even how does the jiva end up bound by karma created by his bodies, even though he actually performs no action? Since the jiva is not the doer, nor has means of doing anything. Karta, jiva is not the doer, then why is getting reactions? Okay, jiva is not the doer. Even though, so this is the thing, the question is, how does the jiva end up bound up by karma created by his bodies, even though he actually performs no action? Since the jiva is not the doer, nor has come means of doing anything. So Vishnu Chakrita was saying that even though action does not really exist, the jiva meditates. This is important. Jiva meditates on sense objects by misconceiving himself as a doer. So an example is given. It is just like a dream in which unreal objects become experienced because of intense thought of objects or actions a person identifies with. So because too much, if somebody is thinking about something, he will get that dream and he will suffer. So here it is mentioned that the jiva meditates on. Actually, jiva is not the doer. Somebody will say, when the jiva is not the doer, then why he is getting the reaction of the action? So it is here that even though actions does not really exist, the jiva meditates on sense objects by misconceiving himself as a doer. Okay, because he thinks that he is the doer. That is the idea. And then jiva meditates on these sense objects. Okay. So Prabhupada is telling that this example of dream is very appropriate. Due to different mental conditions in dreams, we are put into advantageous and disadvantageous positions. Due to different mental conditions in dreams, we are put into advantage and disadvantage position. Different mental condition, so you will get different kind of dream. Similarly, the spirit soul has nothing to do with this material nature, but because of his mentality of lording it over, he is put into the position of conditional existence, because he want to lord it over material nature. That is why he is in the conditional existence. Conditional existence is described here as dhyayato vishyan asya. Vishya means an object of enjoyment. As long as one continues to think that he can enjoy material advantages, important. As long as one continues to think that he can enjoy material advantages, he is in conditioned life. But as soon as he comes to his senses, he develops the knowledge that he is not the enjoyer, for the only enjoyer is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 5.29. He is the beneficiary. Krishna, Bhoktaram Yagatapsam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Surdam Sarvabhutanam Yatvam Shanti Vrichati. He is beneficiary for all the results of sacrifices, Bhoktaram Yagatapsam, and penances. And he is the proprietor of all the three worlds, Sarvalok Maheshwaram. He is the actual friend of all living entities, Suhurdam Sarvabhutanam. But instead of leaving proprietorship, enjoyment in the actual position as the friend of all living entities to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we claim, Prabhupada saying, he is the actual friend of everyone. But instead of leaving proprietorship, enjoyment, and actual position as the friend of all living entities to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we claim that we are the proprietors. We are the proprietors, we are the enjoyers and the friends. Okay, so we perform philanthropic work. We think that we are the enjoyer, we are the proprietor, we are the friend for everyone. So we are trying to be Krishna actually. So we perform philanthropic work, thinking that we are the friends of human society. Someone may proclaim himself, very, very important purport. Someone may proclaim himself to be a very good national worker, the best friend of the people and of the country, but actually he cannot be the greatest friend of everyone. Why? The only friend is Krishna. One should try to raise the consciousness of the conditioned soul to the platform of understanding that Krishna is his actual friend. If one makes friendship with Krishna, one will never be cheated and he will get all help needed. This is very important. Krishna does anything for his friend, but our friend will not do that. You see, when any time it is seen, the greatest friend, when we are in trouble, he will leave. Okay, but Krishna, for his friend Arjuna, Sakha Cheti, you are my friend. For his friend Arjuna, Krishna does everything. He drives his chariot. When Krishna took the vow that I will not take these weapons in the battle of Kurukshetra. But when he saw there is some problem for his friend, he took the weapon, that chakra, the wheel of the chariot, to kill Bhishma, and his name became Rathanga Pandey. But he kind of broken his vow for the protection of his friend. He is not caring that what public will say in future, that I broke my vow. No. He is not caring for his vow. He is caring for his friend. So that is called real friend. Right? Sudama, who does not know the story of Sudama? Right? He gave everything to Sudama. Okay. So this is called real friend. And as Paramatma, he is staying with us always. So then Jiva, when he is in human body, Paramatma is with him. Jiva, when he is in Devata's body, Paramatma is there. But even Jiva, when he goes lower body, animal body, even in the insect body, Paramatma is there with Jiva, supporting him, helping him, and trying to guide him, instruct him, so that Jiva can get out of this suffering of 84 lakh of species. But Jiva is not understanding what his friend is telling. because he is Bimukh from Paramatma, from Krishna. But even though Jiva is Bimukh, away, Jiva has turned away his face from Krishna, but still Krishna does not leave him. Krishna is continuously following, continuously protecting, right? Krishna is providing air, food, everything on the earth for jivas. For all sorts of jivas are getting their food. So this is the real friend of Krishna. Suhurdam sarvabhutanam. No friend can do like that. That today you are rich man, so they are your friend. Tomorrow if you become poor, they will not help you. They will not come with you to stay with you. They will give you some shade, but they will not stay in the same house. You are staying in a multi-story building, a big palace. Next you are bankrupt. So you are in the hut on the road, some small hut. Will your friend will come and stay there? No, he may give some help, but he will not come and stay there and suffer the same pain which you are experiencing. He will not experience the same. But Jiva, but Krishna as a Paramatma goes in all the living, with all the living entities in all sorts of bodies. He's not saying, no, now you are becoming ant, I will not come there. You are becoming rat. No, I will not come. You have to stay in those small holes. I am not coming there, you go alone. No, Paramatma is coming there also. See that. This is the real love of Krishna for us. But we are not realizing. Ungrateful. We don't realize who is doing actual good for us. We just see externally, material level only. We are not realizing who is our real well-wisher, who is our real suhurta, real friend. Krishna is our only best friend, only real friend. No one else can be. Okay. You see, Krishna does not care for him and gave everything to Sudama. Okay. But our friend, material friend, if you go and ask them something, they will, if they have access, sometimes they will give. Otherwise, they will not give their own. But Krishna is real friend. And if somebody is having difficulties in understanding and approaching Krishna as a real friend, then the representative of Krishna, the devotees of Krishna are the real friend, because they also do the same thing. Devotees take pain for others. Devotees are taking so much pain. They go to different situations, different where people are suffering, people don't have any knowledge of Krishna. See, devotees are doing more mercy because Krishna is the real friend. He can do all the good for us. But this information, who is bringing to us? Devotee of Krishna. Who is trying on us? Who is trying to tell us that actually your real friend is Krishna? So if you understand and that your real friend is Krishna, then you are very happy. So when we understand this, we are very happy. But who is helping us in understanding that Krishna is our real friend? That is devotee. And devotees does this, he take this pain. And he understand, he can sit and do his bhakti, no, but he, like Srila Prabhupada went to the West in that 70-year-old, in that much difficulties, he went for what? For the benefit of suffering soul, as a representative of Krishna. So his real well-wisher is the Vaishnava. No? Vaishnava is paradukha dukhi. He is always sad when he sees others' misery. So this is the glories of devotees. Sadhu, Vaishnava. So they are taking so much pain for others and they are going and telling them the message of Krishna. Even though sometimes, like Prabhupada is writing in one place in the purport that sometimes Krishna says, don't preach to the atheistic, but devotees take one step further and go to and give them also some prasad. Okay, give them also some mercy. So devotees are Krishna is the real friend, and Krishna's devotees are our real best friend. That we have to understand. Because what devotee can do for us, nobody can do. Right? Devotees are renouncing everything. For what purpose? They are giving their whole life for what purpose? So that they can help other people, general people, to understand that Krishna is the real friend. And they can take benefit of this information that Krishna is our real friend, and they can practice bhakti and they can make their relationship with Krishna, and they can be always eternally happy. So, who is the cause? Devotee is the cause. And for that, he is leaving everything. He is leaving all his enjoyment, his family, life, everything, and coming in different location and preaching the message of Krishna. For what? Because he is the real well-wisher. Okay. So, that's why Vaishnava is our real well-wisher, real friend. Krishna is our real well-wisher, real friend. You see Prabhupada's signature. He will always write, your ever well-wisher. Right? So, we ourselves cannot become real benefit, a real friend of anyone. Right? We may think like that, but it is not possible. Only Krishna and devotees can do that. The power, and if someone becomes devotee, so by the mercy of Krishna, he can act like that, as a friend of everyone. So arousing this consciousness of, okay, so we should try to raise the consciousness of the conditioned soul to the platform of understanding that Krishna is his actual friend. Prabhupada is saying that we should try to raise the consciousness of the conditioned soul to the platform of understanding that Krishna is his actual friend. So Prabhupada is saying that go and preach this message to everyone. If one makes friendship with Krishna, one will never be cheated and he will get all help needed. Arousing this consciousness of the conditioned soul is the greatest service, not posing oneself as a great friend of another living entity. What is a great service? Prabhupada is saying the greatest service is arousing this consciousness of the conditioned soul. What consciousness? Krishna consciousness. Giving him this idea that he is servant of Krishna, Krishna is his best friend. Giving him this consciousness. This is called Krishna consciousness. This Krishna consciousness. Giving the jiva, this Krishna consciousness. This conditioned soul, they are suffering. So giving this bhakti message to this conditioned soul, suffering soul, is the greatest service. Prabhupada saying, Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham Srimad AnantaBaladeva. What is the next line, Prabhu? Hello? Okay. So, Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam. The gopis, I have already explained in many other classes that this is the center. See, all the fruit, the nectar of all the shastras is Srimad Bhagavatam. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, the 10th canto is the more nectarian. And in the 10th canto, the 5 chapters of Rasa Lila. And there the best thing is, the center one is Gopi Geet. In that Gopi Geet 18 shlokas, the 9th shloka is that. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavi viridam kalmashapam Sravana mangalam Srimadantam bhuvi gridanti te bhuridajana. Okay, like that. So, gopis are telling this shloka. In the Gopi Geet, very important shloka, is that Tava kathamritam, the nectar of your katha, Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam. This hearing of Krishna Katha is a great thing for everybody suffering of this heat of material world, right? Janam, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, everyone is suffering out of this heat. And so this Shravan Mangalam Srimadan, this very cooling is, this Katha will make everything, hearing this Katha is so auspicious. Bhuvi gridanti te bhuridajana. So that is why, see, everyone is suffering in this material world, and this Katha Amrita, the nectar, see, when you are in the summer season, we are very much tapta jivanam, like we are suffering of heat. When in the night, this nectarian moonlight comes, then we feel cool, right? So, in the life of suffering, birth, death, old age, disease, in this life of suffering, we are getting this nectar of Krishna Katha, so we can become peaceful. So, Bhuvi Gridantite Bhurida Jana. Who is bringing this Krishna Katha to us? Those people are really the Bhurida Jana. Bhurida Jana means the most benevolent of the world, the greatest well-wisher, you can say. So, they are the devotees who deliver the message of Krishna to others. Gopis are telling. Gopis are the topmost devotee of Krishna, and that is their view that these people are these preachers, the message, the devotees who are giving this message of Krishna to all the devotees, to all the conditioned soul, and giving them this message so that they can receive the mercy of Krishna. So they are the greatest well-wisher, benevolent benefactors of the world. Prabhupada is also writing here the same thing, that arousing this consciousness of the conditioned soul is the greatest service. Okay, so because some people are showing off by opening some institution, so this is also good, but the greatest thing is giving them Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada, very famous example of that boy who is suffering who left his father, somehow is lost in the market, and now he's hungry, he's sick, he has no cloth. So you can give him everything, cloth, medicines, food, everything. After 4 hours he is again hungry. After some time he need again new dress. After some time he is again sick. So how long you can take care? You will get frustrated. Okay. So the best thing is take him to his father. Father is happy to give him everything lifelong. So take him to his father. So bringing a conditioned soul at the lotus feet of Krishna, this is the greatest service. Why? Because Krishna is our original Supreme Father. So the best service. Okay, so the power of friendship is limited. Prabhupada is writing here further. Although one claims to be a friend, he cannot be a friend unlimitedly. Bhautik world is like that. Nobody can become friend unlimitedly. So there are an unlimited number of living entities, and our resources are limited. So if you can take care of one child, there are so many people suffering. How much you can serve? How much you can help? No. So our resources are limited. Therefore, we cannot be of any real benefit to the people in general. Prabhupada saying, we should not pose ourselves as a great friend of other living entity. We should not do that. And why? Because power of friendship is limited here. And suffering, there are unlimited number of people, jivas, unlimited living entities, and our resources are limited. So nobody, even though one is trying to become friend unlimitedly, but one cannot become friend unlimitedly. Therefore, we cannot be of any real benefit to the people in general. So important line. The best service, Prabhupada is writing, the best service to the people in general is to awaken them to Krishna consciousness, so that they may know that the supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor, and the supreme friend is Krishna. Then this illusory dream of lording it over material nature will vanish. Then only these people. So the thing is that this guy is sleeping, and in the dream he is suffering. So the best help is you wake him up. So how you will wake him up? Okay, so you have to give him some sound vibration. That's why this alarm is there. Some sound vibration will wake him up and he will get up. Right? So the jiva is also sleeping in the material, in the lap of Maya. Right? You are sleeping. So you have to give him the sound vibration. You have to give him sound vibration. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So when we give them this sound vibration, they will get up. This is Mahaprabhu said, Jeev Javo. No? So you have to give them. In Mayapur, Navadip Parikram, every day morning they will take yatra early morning, and everybody will chant this song very loudly. Jeeva Jago, Gora Chandra Bole. Gora Chandra has come and telling Jeev Jago, get up, sleeping soul. Jeev Jago, Kota Nidra Gela Maya. Pisachi Rakhole. How long you will sleep in the lap of Maya Pisach? How long you will sleep? So get up. So in order to wake this sleeping soul, we need this sound vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So that's why the conditioned soul is sleeping in the lap of Maya. So some devotees comes there and gives him Hare Krishna. Some people get bewildered. What is this? Hare Krishna. Some people start thinking whether I should say or not. So say Hare Krishna. Then he, after 2-3 trial, he will say Hare Krishna. Okay. He is blind. He want to sleep there. So said very loudly Hare Krishna. Then he will get up. Hare Krishna. Then he will get up. He will give him mala. Then he will chant. Gradually he will come out. Okay. So Prabhupada is telling the best help to the jiva is wake him up. Okay. Give him the Krishna consciousness. Give him the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this is the fourth shloka. Third and fourth we did today. So in this first chapter, from 1st to 5 shlokas are talking about jiva's conditioned state. So fifth shloka we will do tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nirantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Anant Koti Vaishnavan ki jai. So if you have any question, you can ask. Hare Krishna. Okay, so no question? Fine. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.